Thank you, and good evening. This is a humbling crowd. I've never been so fascinating before. Must be the environment. I will tell you that I hope you had a chance to enjoy the food and the wine, and that you're nice and full. We considered, given the economic conditions, having corn dogs and flat beer to demonstrate our economic prudence, but we scrapped that at Stacy's suggestion to treat y'all to a nice night out. So I hope you enjoyed that. I do have some lengthy comments to make, but I also think that we are in the most important time, at least in the economic history that I've charted out in the last 100 years, and so we might as well get our arms around it. Before I begin, I have some people to thank. First, to the associates of Waddell and Associates. You know, I think you learn a lot about your company when you're under duress. And what I can tell you is that the quality of these individuals and their commitment to you as clients and the mastery of their craft were all on display last year, and I am extremely proud of them. I told them at the end of the year that I felt like we were a winning team in a losing year, and I think that's really the case. So thank you to all of the associates of W&A. Also to the clients, you know, we view you as extended family. And we celebrate when you celebrate, and we are in pain when you're in pain. And I know that last year was a very painful year for all of us in so many different ways. But what I can tell you that'll stick with me more than anything else is there were several times during the course of the year where I received telephone calls from clients, not to complain or about the markets, but to say, David, how you doing? You know, how you holding up? And that meant the world to me. I'll always remember that. So what it told me was that our relationships have transcended traditional business, and for that I am eternally grateful. So thank you to you for your commitment to us and for your confidence. Lastly, to my wife Stacy, who coached me through several sleepless nights last year. And without her support and her eternal optimism, and if you know Stacy, you know that to be the case. Not sure I could have kept it all in perspective. So also she, you know, made the arrangements here tonight. All I had to do was stand up and drone on for an hour about macroeconomics, and she took care of everything else. So thank you for liberating me. With that, why don't we get underway? First of all, I think everybody knows now that what we're going through in this economic and financial time is international. I believe what's happening is really a sea change of economic and political thought. In many ways, the winds and currents of our economic system are now moving in reverse, and that's creating both great turmoil and yet, I believe, some great opportunity. And so we really are, in my opinion, operating under a new operating system. And I'm going to call that Globalization 2.0. For those of you who've attended this Nerdapalooza for the last few years, you know that we've talked a lot about globalization, and I do believe that's the primary driver of what's happening in every aspect of our economy. Well, what's incumbent upon us is that we upgrade this new software into our system for performance, and I commit to doing that. And so I'm going to walk you through what that's going to look like. For those of you not familiar with W&A, I'll spend a minute to tell you how we manage our client strategy. First of all, we are a very client-centric firm. This really starts with the clients, and we can't give you the right answers unless we've asked the right questions. And those asking the questions on our staff are deeply credentialed. Across the 20 associates at W&A, we have 29 postgraduate degrees and accreditations. And the combination of what you're trying to achieve and our financial intelligence creates the financial strategy, the household financial plan. And it's very important as we work through the client relationships over the course of their lives to adhere to that financial plan as much as we can. And out of that will pop a target rate of investment return. What return do we need to make all your hopes and dreams come true? Once we've got that, we will build out asset allocations using our equity model and our fixed income model. And then what's really critical is that this process is not static, it's dynamic. And that requires a high level of communication. So the way that we built our fee structure was that there would be no barrier to communication. And so we charge a fee on assets under management. When times are good for you, times are good for us. When they're not good for you, they're not really good for us either. But what we don't do is charge a fee on our hourly work or on a project basis or certainly per transaction. So we do everything we can to stay in alignment, and those communication levels are so critical. Furthermore, truly, we are all in this together. If you look at the accounts across the 20 associates at W&A, we have about 20 million of our own money, of our own family's money in the exact same investment vehicles that you do. And we use the exact same financial planning process that we take you through. So we're not recommending anything that we haven't digested ourselves.